All right, so we've never really done anything like this before, but we thought we would do like a little emergency meeting type thing because shit has hit the fan in the college football world. Texas, Oklahoma, I'm sure you guys have already heard this. They contacted the SEC. It's been reported now that this has been in the works for 6 months. So, Texas OU, it looks like they're both going to be leaving the Big 12 and joining the SEC, which basically would begin an avalanche, a downfall of conference realignment for everybody, especially the Big 12. The Big 12 may cease to exist in a few weeks. So we just wanted to talk about this because we don't know what's going to happen, but everybody is kind of spectating or, theorizing what may go down with the new conferences. So we wanted to talk about that a little bit. Elijah, what is your thoughts, first of all, on Texas and OU leaving the Big 12? Because we're, TCU boys, we're in the Big 12. We're screwed.
Yeah, Big 12 would be dead if Texas and OU leave. That's just flat out bottom line. It's over for the Big 12 if Texas and OU leave. The only thing that's going through my mind right now is like, can this be stopped? Like, is this happening? Is this the inevitable, or can something be done by this? Like, I was almost like, can we like ask Greg Abbott to stop this? Like, can we ask the governor of Texas? Can we ask the governor of Oklahoma? Or like who do we call? Like who can step in and stop this? And I finally, I remember a couple months ago when the whole soccer Super League was going down, and we were kind of making fun of Europe because we were like, whatever, but we also thought it sucked. Like now I completely understand the pain that they were feeling. Like 100% sympathizing with them. This is exactly what's happening, and it sucks.
Yeah, I don't really think, because there's no one person that you can go to really for the NCAA as a whole. And I mean, the conferences are separate too, really. They're independent, and the schools can act independently for their own, like the greater good of their own school if they want, which is what these schools are doing. So yeah. You say, well, the Big 12 is most likely going to cease to exist, but what do you think about the possibility of the Big 12 adding teams like BYU, Houston, Cincinnati, UCF, maybe even SMU? They've been on the come up the past couple of years.
I mean, it would make a good conference, but it would no longer be a Power 5 conference. It'd turn into the Power 4.
That's what I'm thinking. Is I would be worried that would sacrifice the whole.
It's just
there would be no Power 5. Yeah, that's just
be no Power 5. The Power 5 would be a thing of the past. It just wouldn't matter.
And this is also such weird timing too, because they just announced the possibility of moving to a 12-team playoff in the next couple of years. So now what's weird is with a 4-team playoff, it would have made sense to have 4 conferences and then just the champion of each conference goes to the playoff.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, I support the 12-team playoff a lot more.
I mean,
but go ahead.
In my head, it's just kind of like, who wants this to happen besides the ADs at OU and UT and the commissioners of the SEC? Like, who wants this to happen? Because I know fans of UT and OU don't want this. They're going to get curb stomped in the SEC. At least Texas will. Texas can't even be back in the Big 12. What makes you think
you're right on that? No, you're right on that. But I think Texas and OU fans actually do want this.
They do want this?
For the most part, yeah. Because, I mean, the SEC, it's the top conference in the country. I mean, it's more money, more revenue, more exposure.
Oh.
So, I get why Texas fans especially, I would be upset if I was a Texas fan. Because, yeah, like you said, they're not back in the Big 12. No shot they win anything in the SEC.
And another thing, too, that I think is particularly interesting is that UT and OU run the Big 12. They boss the Big 12 around. It's their bitch. But they can't. If they go to the SEC, they have no clout. They can't do that. They will not be able to run around and do their sissy little thing that they do, acting like a annoying girlfriend with the Big 12. They can't do that with the SEC. Because those are the big boys. Bama's there, Auburn's there, Georgia,
LSU.
They run that conference. UT and OU are just happy to be there, honestly.
Well, I would say, yeah, you're right in that sense. Especially right now, Oklahoma is more so of a top dog than Texas in modern football. But historically, they are probably 2 of the top 10 programs of all time. Like Oklahoma and Texas they're probably up there.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I'm saying is that they just can't come in and run the show like they run the Big 12.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. And what I think about too is what's going to happen with the Longhorn Network, because the Longhorn Network is signed with ESPN until 2031, I think. And the Big 12 owns all of the media rights for football and basketball for both universities until 2025.
So
So if,
it'd be a buyout.
yeah, they would have to pay 76 million, I think it was, I saw.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which
Which,
they
I
could
mean,
cover with the new SEC thing.
yeah, they could totally cover it with a new SEC deal.
So it sucks. It's just I'm just like scrambling in my brain of like how this can be stopped. Because is it inevitable or is it?
Well, I've literally in the past few minutes, I've seen reports now that are coming out that have said that it's like confirmed, not like confirmed yet, but they will be leaving the Big 12. Like they've already made up their minds, these two schools. So
That's so dumb.
yeah, one of the possible scenarios, this is the most likely if they go to the SEC, is that they're gonna, because it's gonna be 16 teams. That's insane for a conference. They're gonna do
Too
4
much.
pods of 4. It's gonna be Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, and South Carolina in one, which that one Florida would probably dominate. Or no, actually Georgia, shit. Yeah, I didn't even see it. LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and A&M. That could be good too with LSU and A&M.
A&M's the
then
real losers of this. With
They
UT.
are. Yeah, that's
They're
another
bad.
thing too.
That was one of the stipulations of A&M coming to the SEC is they wanted to be the only one in the state of Texas.
That was their
in
big
the SEC.
recruiting ploy, you know, they could
Like,
say
yeah.
that.
It was like an unwritten rule, and now they're breaking that. So I don't know. Reports there've been conflicting reports of whether A&M is mad about this or they're happy about this. So I don't know.
I saw I don't know if it was their AD or who it was. It was somebody high up for A&M. He went on a show and was talking, like a talk show, and he was basically saying like that they don't want this like at all, really. A&M is definitely against it. I saw another report that said the SEC actually has been discussing things with UT and Oklahoma without telling A&M. Like they told the other schools and didn't inform A&M. So don't know if that's true, but that'd be some petty shit. Because I know the SEC wants to bring them in. I mean, if the SEC brings them in, they're super conference. If the 12-team playoff does come to fruition, they could probably take up 6 spots a year. Literally, like 6 of them.
Well, I think one of the things that I read, it said that this could just be a lead up into a 32-team super conference. It'd be the worst thing to ever happen to college football. Like
That wouldn't even be fun. What like
it would be fun? It would
be like the AFC and NFC in the NFL.
It's
which-
like
That works for the NFL, but not for college.
college football. I mean, there's 100 schools that people enjoy to watch. There's 150 schools out there, you know,
Yeah.
that people that we have that have dedicated fan bases and that like, you know, that have fun watching their schools in their own little pocket of the college football world performing in. And so if this would happen, that would completely ruin it for any team that's outside of that 32-team conference. So like, honestly, hate to say this, but TCU would probably be left out of that 32-team conference. So us being TCU fans, we'd be, you know, second tier. We'd be lightweights. It would suck. I mean,
Yeah, it's just mostly, I think, it's sad to say you're probably right, just because of our small like alumni. We only have like 90,000 living alumni. I mean, you know, you could say it's a rich school, but there's not a lot of money for like TV contracts and stuff.
Your school will take over. I mean,
Yeah, like definitely bigger fan bases out there. But I will say, let's talk about like TCU in particular. I think the best move for TCU, if shit does really hit the fan, which it looks like it's going to, is I think TCU, Texas Tech, Baylor, and Oklahoma State should all move to the Pac-12 and form the Pac-16. I think that is the smartest move.
I think that would be the most logical decision because, for one, because I would love to keep our rivalry going with Baylor. We need to have that. We need to have it with, you know, I mean, Tech. I guess I enjoy beating Tech every year. Football. So I mean, that would be our best move. And I think that trying to scrambling and trying to, you know, save the remains of the Big 12 is just something that wouldn't be feasible and just wouldn't be worth it because like, it would be a solid conference if we were able to add teams like, you know, like the really good group of 5 teams like UCF, Memphis, probably, I mean, Cincinnati.
Yeah, it would be salvageable. BYU even.
If we added those 4 teams, like that would be a really good conference. But the problem with that conference is that there's no clear-cut blue blood top dog school to really carry it and give it that validity.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
it would just be it would be like having the best group of 5 conference of all time, basically.
Yeah, you're right. And I think too, another thing to look at is whether or not that would be better for TCU or going to the Pac-12. Because I mean, money wise, if we move from the Big 12 down a conference to like the AAC, because that's a possibility too, joining the American Athletic Conference. But then we would lose like $20 million or something in annual revenue. So Pac-16, well, I say Pac-16, but Pac-12 would make the most sense, I think. And then that would leave the rest of the teams, though, to split up as well. I mean, then West Virginia would have to go somewhere. Iowa State would have to go somewhere. Kansas State. I think most likely West Virginia would go to the ACC because, you know, they're on the East Coast. Most of those teams are on the East Coast.
Kansas and them go to Big Ten.
Yeah, that makes it because they can compete in basketball. Kansas would be great for the Big Ten in basketball. So that's what I think should happen.
What about K-State? What does K-State do?
K-State probably goes to the Big Ten as well.
Yeah, I mean, God, I mean, if those teams, most of them end up going to different Power 5 conferences now, and it just turns into a really big Power 4.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be the end of the world, I guess. It feels like right now, but it still sucks.
Well, another thing that's very unlikely, but you know, the Big Ten has 14 teams, which doesn't make sense, has never made sense. So why doesn't Nebraska and Colorado, 2 teams that have already been in the Big 12, why don't they just come back? You know, those are 2 big enough programs, I would say, especially Nebraska, to maybe hold that namesake. And then we add 2 programs from the AAC like BYU and Cincinnati. I mean, it wouldn't be as luxurious as a Big 12 with Texas and OU, but it may salvage the conference. I mean, I don't know if that's better or the better option is to blow it up. I really don't.
It's hard to say right now. It really is. Just because we're coming off the heels of it. We're literally watching it die right now. And,
which,
you know,
this came out of nowhere.
We've always heard grumblings in the past of OU and UT aren't happy with the Big 12 for some reason, even though they're literally in charge of it.
Yeah, they run shit.
So they literally run this conference, and all they do is complain about it. So,
especially UT, bro. Like the SEC has the SEC network. Big Ten has the Big Ten network. What does the Big 12 have? The Big 12 has the Longhorn network. They literally run shit. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do. I really, part of me hopes that Texas goes to the SEC just so they can get fucking clapped and not make a bowl game for the next decade.
Yeah, I'll miss us beating them for sure.
That is true. You know, 7-2 against Texas in the last 9 years.
Sure. But I don't know. I just hope for everything that is the sanctity of college football that this does not come to fruition and somebody comes in and stops this.
Yeah, like some unwritten bylaw or something that just comes out of left field and closes it all down. I mean, it may take a few seasons too, though. Even if it like does become official, it may take a couple seasons to like actually make the move happen. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Shit's crazy right now.
Yeah. Emergency meeting.
Yeah. Emergency meeting adjourned. All right. Well, thanks for watching. You guys, this isn't really something we normally do. We may do this for big news in the future, but make sure you guys
wait till Wednesday to do this.
Yeah. Make sure you guys check out our live episodes on Wednesday or the recorded version on our website, Spotify, Apple Podcast, everything there. All righty. Thanks for tuning in.